Senate defeats government funding measure as shutdown hits day 9 by Alexander Bolton. The Senate on Thursday voted for a seventh time to block a House-passed bill to reopen the federal government, as only 3 members of the Democratic caucus joined Republicans in voting to resolve the impasse. The House Republican drafted measure to fund the government through November 21, a clean continuing resolution that keeps funding levels current, failed to advance on a procedural vote, 54 to 45. It needed 60 votes to advance. Democratic Sens, John Fetterman D. Pennsylvania and Catherine Cortez Masto, Democrat from Nevada, and Senator Angus King, Maine, an independent who caucuses with Democrats, voted for the House funding bill. Senator Rand Paul, Republican from Kentucky, was the only Republican to vote against it. Democrats, more broadly, are showing no sign of backing down as recent polls show that more Americans blame Republicans, who control the White House and Congress, for the shutdown. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, New York, in an interview with Punchbowl declared, "Every day gets better for us." That comment was published a day after Schumer released a new video blaming Republicans for the shutdown and vowing, "No effing way, it is literally life or death. We will not let Republicans blow up our health care system." That defiant stance drew condemnation from Republican leaders who accused Democrats of playing political games. "This is not a political game. Democrats might feel that way, but I do not know of anybody else that does," Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Republican from South Dakota, declared on the floor before Thursday's vote. The longer this goes on, the more the American people realize that Democrats own this shutdown. Vice President Vance slammed Schumer on social media for saying every day gets better, calling it a vile sentiment. But the Republican attacks are having little impact on Democratic senators. Asked whether Democrats will get some blame for the shutdown, Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat from Connecticut, argued, "Ultimately, we have a job to do, which is to protect this country from a slide toward authoritarianism and to protect our constituents from giant cost increases. Shutdowns hurt, they do, but people are going to die later this year when 4 million people lose health insurance," he said. Senate Republicans say they will keep the pressure on Democrats by bringing the House-passed funding stopgap back to the floor for additional votes. The Senate was scheduled to take a recess during the week of Columbus Day, but lawmakers now expect the state work period to be canceled, so senators can remain in Washington to vote on ending the shutdown. The Senate voted earlier Thursday on an alternative Senate Democratic plan to reopen the government. That proposal, which would permanently extend enhanced health insurance premium subsidies under the Affordable Care Act and restore nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts made by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, failed to advance on a party-line vote, 47 to 50. The Democrats' government funding proposal failed to advance in 6 previous votes since September 19. More than 1.3 million members of the military are scheduled to miss their first paychecks during the shutdown on October 15, and the Trump administration is reviewing options to shift funding to pay troops. The 9-day shutdown is also putting increasing pressure on airports as Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) air traffic controllers are working without pay. Airports in Burbank and Nashville were forced to delay flights this month because of staffing issues.